Segment 3, watch what you bet here on That Betting Show. Well, tonight you're not actually going to watch it, but we're going to get this Sweet 16 party started. Let the dance resume. SEC versus Big Ten. Matt Painter is going to take the court. Well, he's not just going to take the court. He's going to coach his squad against Rick Barnes. Line currently sitting here, Teddy. Tennessee minus 1.5 total. 146.5 money line split plus 100 minus 120. Now, I do see the time here is listed at 7:29 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to be the old man that yells at the cloud in just a few moments here, but we'll let that go. KFC Yum Center in Louisville, Kentucky. Purdue, Teddy, comes in the Sweet 16 after beating Old Dominion handily by double digits, and then absolutely flatlining Villanova. We take a look at Tennessee coming in. You know, they were down the Colgate, Teddy, in the second half, 52-50. Ended up winning that game. Have a huge lead against another Big Ten foe in Iowa. Lose that lead going to overtime. The two different styles coming in. One team handling it easily. The other team getting a couple sweats. Should be a good one tomorrow night.
Yeah, sure, good. Now, Purdue falls into a system for teams that were in the Sweet 16 last year and make a return trip to the Sweet 16. Those teams 1-5 against the number in 2018, and long term, talking about 62 and 80 ATS. They have not been particularly good in this role. So the teams that were there last year and are back again this year, sometimes there's some issues with these Sweet 16 squads. Now, obviously, we saw Tennessee struggle. They saw them struggle in the first game. We saw them struggle in the second game. All that easy money, they're up 21. Well, it didn't end up being so easy as Iowa with a furious comeback. Of course, Tennessee, the only Sweet 16 survivor with 5 returning starters. And yet, even with all of that returning talent, they still couldn't avoid the collapse against Iowa. Bettors have some concerns about this Tennessee squad. All that being said, Purdue has not done well against top seeds in the tournament. In fact, Mac Painter 0-7 straight up against 1, 2, or 3 seeds. And it's certainly a Boilermakers team. Brilliant. They're coming off a great game in which they dominated Villanova. Sometimes you worry about the teams that played their best game last weekend and then go home and have to bring back that same magic the following week. So certainly I can understand why there's been a little bit of money towards Tennessee. The one's mostly gone now. 1.5's the prevailing number. I can understand why Tennessee is a favorite in this ballgame. Despite
Purdue, going to need Carson Edwards to step up there, Teddy. I mean, you took a look at the last 2 games, 13 3-pointers that he did make. So it should be a good one tomorrow night. And then again, we're going to flip it over out to the West Coast, Teddy, your neck of the woods. It's going to be a 4 o'clock Pacific time tip. Again, just tipping my hand to the next segment that we're going to have in just a few moments here. Seminoles coming in playing Gonzaga, minus 7.5. Gonzaga's the favorite, Teddy. Total, 146.5 money line split, plus 280, minus 350. Seminoles only 2 losses since mid-January to UNC on the road in the Dean Smith Center and Duke in the ACC title game. Also an FSU team playing with a lot of emotion right now. Phil Kofer, who missed the first couple games with a foot injury. Father passes away while he's in the locker room, gets the phone call, goes home to the funeral, won't be back. And Leonard Hamilton telling his boys, hey, look, not going to have Phil Kofer this weekend. The only way we get him back, boys, is if we win this weekend and head to the Final Four. Taking a look at the Zags, their lone loss in 2019 was in Las Vegas for the 2019 West Coast Conference Championship game. Gonzaga, back-to-back double-digit wins in the tournament. 2 of the more deep teams that we're going to see heading down the stretch here, Teddy, should be a good one out there on the West Coast to get it going.
Yeah, I stepped in front of the Zags last time out, and boy, I wanted a bet that I didn't deserve. I mean, really, they outclassed Baylor in a way that I didn't think that they would. And they did it pretty easily. And they controlled that game, and they ended up only winning by 12. So I saw the extra value on the Baylor side, I guess, and was able to cash a ticket because of that extra value. But I'm in no rush to step in front of the Zags again. Let's not forget, number 1 seeds in the Sweet 16. Last 5 years, 12-2-1 against the spread. They've been really good in this particular game. Of course, Gonzaga has some additional motivation. They lost in the Sweet 16 last year to Florida State, and they lost badly in that game. They were down from the get-go. They struggled throughout, 75-60. They were 6-point favorites in that game. Gonzaga shot only 34% from the floor, only 25% from three-point range, only had 12 turnovers. It wasn't Florida State turning them over. They just couldn't make shots against the Seminoles defense. Now, Leonard Hamilton's been really good. 6-1 against the spread, taking points in the big dance. 5-0 ATS versus top seeds, number 4 or better. All that being said, Gonzaga in this tournament, they've been pretty good when not double-digit chalk. How about 16-2-1 against the number their last 19 tries?